One card to rule them all, one card to find them, one card to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. The Curve card. This credit card makes itself seem like the only credit card you'll have to carry by combining all of your credit cards into one. And on top of that, combining that with smart features. They'll automatically sort your purchases into the perfect card by using only this card. Doing all of that without costing you anything. Sounds like a no-brainer card to get, right? Well, in this video, I'll be breaking down everything about the Curve card, what I think about the Curve card since using it for more than a month now, and how you can be invited into the public beta test. How's everyone doing? It's Calby Ing here, bringing you another video to help you make the right choices. First, let's go over exactly what this card is. I know it can be sort of difficult to understand. So the Curve card is a credit card, but you don't want to use it for that purpose as a credit card. Simply put, think of this card more like how Apple Wallet and Google Pay function, but if there were physical objects you can swipe. You only need one device or card to charge multiple different cards, and select the perfect card you need at the moment. A more closer example to the Curve card is the semi-popular smart credit cards, like the Fuse card, where this is the only card you have to carry to use multiple different cards, and you can switch between which card you are charging. It's exactly the same concept as a Swiss Army knife. One object with multiple different objects within it. Now, why would you want to do this? Surprisingly, there are many benefits by combining all of your cards into one. First, as I stated before, you can collect your massive stack of credit and debit cards, then add them to just one credit card you have to physically carry out with you. But it goes deeper than this. So the Curve card is a MasterCard, and no matter which card is ultimately charged for the transaction, it will charge and be coded as MasterCard. So you'll still be able to earn in categories. Everything will code the same if you use the actual card for the transaction, instead of every purchase being coded as other. So this is a huge benefit for people who like to carry Discover credit cards. I don't know about you, but my personal experience with American Express cards are they're basically taken 9 out of 10 times if the place takes credit cards. But with Discover, I felt like it was actually taken less often than American Express. I would say 8 out of 10 times. Not that much less, however annoying enough for me to close the card. But with the Curve card, that's no longer an issue, because you can add Discover credit cards to the Curve card. So if places don't take Discover, you can still charge your Discover card by using the Curve card and still earn points within the category. And the same logic applies to other card networks like Visa. If for some reason a place doesn't take Visa but will take MasterCard, you can still charge your Visa cards by using the Curve MasterCard. Are you following me so far? So this makes Curve a really powerful credit card tool. At the moment though, Curve doesn't currently support Visa credit cards, but they do have plans of allowing Visa credit cards to be added in the future. Unlike American Express, where Curve has no plans on adding them to the system. However, I'm currently privately beta testing a card that functions similar to Curve that will allow you to add Amex cards to it. So subscribe so you'll know when that video drops. So basically, the cards that Curve supports at this time are MasterCard, Discover, and Diner Club credit cards, and Visa, MasterCard, and Discover debit cards. So a good chunk of cards like the Saver cards, Quicksilver, Citi Double Cash, Discover It, and the Chase Freedom Flex, and many others. And many more if they add Visa credit cards soon, all in one card. But not only does Curve make your wallet thinner and lighter, you can also change the card you charged a purchase to if you made a mistake, or if a 5% quarter category recently changed within 30 days. Curve calls this feature Go Back in Time, and it's actually pretty simple to use. All you have to do is go to the Curve app, click on the transaction you want to move, then select Go Back in Time towards the top. All you have to do is swipe the card you want the transaction on and then tap on it, and it's that easy. The correct card will be charged and the transaction will be removed from the original card. Just a warning, you can only use the Go Back in Time feature once per transaction, so after you moved it, that's final. No more redos after that. So like I said, the main purpose of this feature is to correct mistakes you made by charging the wrong card. But other applications include, if you charged a purchase, for example in quarter 2 in a non-category, but when quarter 3 hits, that same purchase is within a 5% quarterly category on the Chase Freedom Flex, just move the transaction and bam, you've earned more points without making any headache returns, or just accepted the fact you missed out. Another application Curve advertises is you can use the Go Back in Time feature to free up credit, but in my opinion, at that point, I would try to get a credit limit increase or pay off my card, but it could be used in that way. Now this sounds like a pretty dangerous feature. Are there any consequences in using this feature? Not that I've seen so far. Go Back in Time works fine, I haven't had any issues, and Curve advertises it won't affect your credit score. So far harmless. The biggest issue I've had with this feature is you can't use this feature on the actual Curve credit card, which is a big pain in the butt. Like I said, when you apply for the Curve card, even though it gives you a credit limit, there's absolutely no reason you should actually use it. But there are sometimes you don't have a choice but to use it. Curve also has this feature called anti-embarrassment protection. I understand why they implemented this feature and it is useful, but it's just a giant pain. So what the anti-embarrassment protection feature is if the card doesn't go through, then the charges will be placed on the curved credit card. Supposedly it's there so you don't have the cashier staring at you when your card declines. Which is fine, getting your card declined can be embarrassing because it makes you look like you never pay off your credit cards. But you know what's more embarrassing? Losing 5% on a quarterly category spend? Like, come on. I lost out on getting $2.27 back. I know you all are judging me. How could Calby lose out on 4% back on dining? Shame, shame, shame. I'll never recover from this. Oh, and the Pizza Hut transaction was my first test transaction. And maybe you're thinking, wait, didn't you just tell us about the go back in time feature? Just switch the card. That's just it. You can't use the go back in time feature on the actual curved credit card. Hopefully this will change in the future, or the anti-embarrassment protection feature just gets better, because this card is still currently in beta. Thankfully, there are some other features that redeems the curved card, like smart rules, which will make this the must-have card for your player 2. So you know how like smart homes have iffy or if this then that? So if you unlock your smart door, then it'll also turn on your smart lights, or if you leave your home area, then everything in your house will turn off. Same concept with smart rules. You'll have two options if the purchase falls within a certain category or within a certain amount. So for example, your purchase codes as groceries, then it will charge the purchase to the Saver 1 card. If your purchase codes as general spend, charge it to the Quicksilver card. Or if you do amount rules, if you charge anything under $5, it will charge it to the Build card to meet the 5 transactions. If you take the time to set up all these rules, then basically you'll never have to worry about using the go back in time feature or worry about maximizing your cards, because you'll always have the right card charge. The only time to really change the rules is during a quarterly category change, or if you apply for a new card that has better multipliers in a certain category. This feature makes it an amazing player 2 card if your player 2 isn't into credit cards, because you never have to worry about them using the right card and they only have to carry one card. I personally haven't done this yet because Curve is still within the beta phase, so there have been some problems. And my wife has anxiety about not having a card if a place doesn't take it, like a Costco where they only take Visa cards. But as soon as they fix all the issues I'll talk about later in this video, then Curve has the true potential of being my wife's only credit card. Oh, also I forgot to mention, if you have 2 or more rules that overlap each other, the rule on top gets activated first. So if you set a rule for all purchases under $5 to go onto the Build card, and then under that rule have all grocery spend go onto the Saver 1 card, if you make a $4 purchase at a grocery store, then it'll ultimately go onto the Build card. Of course you can switch the order of which rules will trigger first. But not only do I like the smart rules feature, Curve also took a page from the Apple card. With the Curve card, since all or most of your cards are centralized in one place, it gives you more overall data about the transactions you made with all your cards. Like in the timeline tab, this shows every single purchase and activity that has happened on your Curve card during that month, and past months if you scroll down far enough, and which cards were charged for that transaction, or even money deposited into your Curve Cash card, which we'll go over in a bit, along with the color codes of the categories they fell in. Then if you click on the Insight tab, you can see how much you spent in a certain category, or if you scroll down, how much you spent on each card. And you have any business spend that you marked, they will show up under that. So a very powerful, easy to read tool. Very useful. Speaking of useful, did you know there are no foreign transaction fees on this card? You may be thinking, so what? There are many travel cards that don't have a foreign transaction fee. But really, think about the implications. The Curve card acts as a Swiss Army knife that houses all of your cards that you put on it. Thereby, if the Curve card doesn't have any foreign transaction fees, any card you put on the Curve card will thereby also not have any foreign transaction fees. So for example, the City Double Cash card, we all know has a 3% foreign transaction fee. But you load it onto the Curve card, you can travel internationally, use the Curve card, and put the actual charges on your City Double Cash, thereby avoiding the foreign transaction fees, but still was able to use your Double Cash abroad. Not only that, but the Curve card, according to data points, has a more fair exchange rate compared to bigger banks, therefore saving you money. And when making a purchase in a foreign currency after the charge has been made, Curve will pop up at the same time notification with the charges translated back into dollars. So you'll know you paid way more than what you thought it was. It'll hit you instantly. But seriously, an insanely useful feature to have. However, another useful travel or just feature to have is the ability to lock the Curve card. At face value, this doesn't seem too special, but the ability to lock all of your cards with a single click is amazing if you get pickpocketed or you realize you lost your wallet. You don't have to spend time calling all your banks to cancel and send replacement cards, you just need to replace the Curve card, and all of your other cards are safe. Those were all the features the Curve card has, but how about the card itself? So like I said, the Curve card does have a credit card portion. However, I highly suggest you not to use it because it's basically useless. It has no multipliers, the credit limit for everyone so far has has been $500, no ability for a balance transfer, and no cash advance. However, there are also no annual fees at the moment, and like we talked about earlier, no foreign transaction fees. Curve basically took the good parts of a credit card and stripped the rest out they didn't need. So the Curve credit card itself basically wasn't meant to be used in my opinion, other than for the anti-embarrassment protection. And it's worse too. Like I said before, go back in time doesn't work if the charge ends up on the Curve credit card. Also, you can only pay off the Curve credit in the app. There's no website. And you can only use a debit card to pay it off. You also get no notifications as of right now about when your balance is due. So there have been many reports of people missing their payments because they forgot Curve has their own credit card. So as soon as you apply for the card, change your default card off the Curve card to another card like the Citi Double Cash, Freedom Unlimited, or the Quicksilver card. You can easily do that by going into the app, swipe to the card you want to use as your default, and then tap it. Then that card shouldn't be grayed out anymore. That'll be your default card if a purchase doesn't trigger the smart rules. Now, most importantly, does it come with a welcome bonus? And actually, yes, it does, but not in a traditional sense. The welcome bonus for the Curve card is for all purchases within the first 6 months, you'll earn an extra 1% on top of your purchases. And this works with any card charge, not just the Curve credit card. So for example, a $10 purchase on the Quicksilver card, I'll still get back 1.5% back like normal, or 15 cents, but on top of that, I'll get an extra 1% back in Curve Cash, or an extra 10 cents. And Curve Cash is similar to how Apple Card has Apple Cash. Any cash back, promos, referrals, failed to go back in time refunds will go on to the separate Curve Cash card. Except unlike the Apple Card, you can't redeem or take out the funds until recently, kind of. So originally how it functioned was if you saved up enough cash back to cover a transaction, then the Curve Cash could automatically cover that purchase. So for example, you had $20 of Curve Cash and you use your Curve card to make a purchase at Target for something totaling 15 bucks. Instead of charging the purchase onto your credit card, it'll take the funds out of the Curve Cash card to cover the transaction. So basically same as cash. But recently, Curve announced you can convert your Curve Cash into 10 different types of cryptocurrencies. I'm not entirely sure how this feature works yet, it just recently released, but I think instead of having your cash sit as dollars, it can sit as bitcoins, and decrease and increase based on market value. So that's neat. Now if you do decide to get this card, just a warning, everything has to be done within the app at the moment. There isn't a website version of Curve yet. So let's go over the app real quick. So on the homepage is just all the cards you can swipe through, and make the default card and see all the transactions on that card. On the most left is the Curve Cash card. If you want to turn on crypto rewards, just click on the gray arrow next to the word Curve Cash, then toggle on or off the crypto rewards and follow the setup instructions and choose which cryptocurrency you want if you haven't done so already. Under that option is the option to use Curve Cash if you have enough Curve Cash to cover a purchase. Then under that is if you want email receipts for any purchases using the Curve Cash card. Then if you swipe right, you'll see the Curve credit card and all its transactions. This is where if you have a balance on the Curve credit card, you'll need to pay it off. You just need to click pay and follow the steps to add your debit card to pay off the balance, or click on the gray arrow next to the words Curve Credit to add your payment method towards the bottom of the page. Then to the right of Curve Credit is all the cards you added. If you click on the gray arrows for these cards, you'll see the last 4 numbers of your credit card and the expiration date. Here you can also change the name of the card along with the picture. Then under that you can have email receipts for purchases you make with this card. And under that is the ability to remove the card from Curve. Now if you swipe all the way to the right, this is where you will add your cards to Curve. Just type in your credit card number, the expiration date, and the CVC. Then press continue. You aren't done yet though. The card you just added will want you to verify it. Curve will do a test charge on your card with a 6-digit code as a description of the charge. Use that code to verify the card on Curve. Then that's all you have to do to add the cards to Curve. If you want to access the Smart Rules feature, click on this icon on the top right, toggle on to enable Smart Rules, then click on the plus sign in the top right, and like I said before, you'll have 2 main options, category rules or amount rules. Just go through both sets of rules carefully and sort them in the way of priority. The top rules will be honored before the rules beneath it, if the purchase meets both rules. Then if you want to see your cards as a list, click on the icon next to the Smart Rules icon. Now for the Apple Card-like tool where you can see all your transactions you made using the Curve card. Just click on My Money on the bottom middle. And finally, for settings, help to lock, or to see your card numbers, click on account next to My Money on the bottom. Pretty self-explanatory. Click on card details to see your card numbers, click on lock to lock your card, click on add to Apple Wallet to add to Apple Wallet. Under that is referrals, click on that to see how long your welcome bonus will last, and if you have any successful referrals. Then under that is settings. Just basic settings in here, and how you want your notifications, and the passcode to lock the app, since you can access your card numbers in the app. Then just your card member agreement. Just under settings, settings is the help center. This is where you would go if you need help with your curve card. First page will show self-help articles, but if you don't want to fuss with that, or if you can't find your answer, on the bottom right you can click on chat to start a live chat. Not as convenient as tech support in my opinion, but good enough. And that's basically everything there is to the curve card. Some problems I ran into so far while using the curve card have been, sometimes some charges will randomly go onto the wrong cards I set for smart rules, which is annoying but pretty easy to move around with go back in time. However, the real issue comes when the charges will randomly go onto the curve credit card, because you can't move those charges. But curve is still within the beta phase, so hopefully these issues will be resolved before massive public adoption. Other than that and the other things I've already talked about, I've been pretty satisfied with the curve card, and that's my take on the curve card. Basically does what it's intended to do, be the only one physical card you have to carry, while having access to multiple different cards and multipliers. An excellent card for your player 2. If you want to be invited into the public beta test, all you have to do is go to curve.com, click on join, enter your phone number, that simple. But what do you think of this card? Let me know in the comments below. Also, according to the YouTube analytics, only a very small portion of you that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you enjoyed this video and haven't already, consider subscribing, and I'll see you later.